Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are going to explore a truly meaningful and fascinating coin from Australia, the 2021 donation dollar. This is not just an ordinary $1 coin. It carries a powerful message of generosity, community spirit, and giving. Along with its emotional value, it has also started to gain attention in the collector's world, especially when found in unique conditions like a slightly aged or rust-toned green appearance. Let's begin with a bit of history. The 2021 donation dollar was introduced by the Royal Australian Mint as part of a national initiative to encourage charitable giving. The idea was simple but brilliant. Every time someone receives this coin, they are encouraged to donate it to a cause they care about. It was designed not only as currency but as a symbol of kindness. This makes the coin stand out because it blends everyday use with social impact, something rarely seen in modern coinage. Now let's talk about the coin's appearance and condition. The donation dollar looks similar to a regular Australian $1 coin at first glance, but it features a special green center with a gold-colored outer ring. The green center represents generosity and growth, which ties beautifully into the coin's purpose. Over time, some of these coins develop a slightly aged or rust green tone, especially if they've been circulated. When collectors describe a coin as being in old fine condition, they usually mean it shows signs of use like light wear or toning, but still retains its main design details clearly. Interestingly, this kind of natural aging can actually make a coin more attractive to certain collectors because it adds character and authenticity. Moving on to composition, this coin is made using two different metals. The outer ring is typically aluminum bronze, while the inner green core is colored through a special minting process. This bimetallic design not only makes it visually striking, but also durable enough for circulation. The craftsmanship reflects the high standards of the Royal Australian Mint, ensuring that even a coin meant for everyday use can carry artistic and symbolic value. Now let's look at collector demand. Because the donation dollar is relatively new, it is still widely available in circulation. However, its unique purpose and design have already captured the interest of collectors around the world. Coins with unusual toning, like a rust green aged appearance, can stand out and attract more attention. While millions were minted, not all coins will remain in collectible condition over time, which means well-preserved or uniquely toned pieces may gradually become more desirable. Collectors are especially drawn to coins that tell a story, and this one certainly does. So what about the current market value? In general, a standard 2021 donation dollar in circulated condition is still worth around which is $1 Australian dollar. However, coins in better condition, such as uncirculated or those with appealing toning, can sell for a bit more in the collector market. A rust green old fine condition coin might range from about $148,000 to $175,000, depending on its appearance, demand, and where it is sold. Exceptional examples, especially those that look visually striking or are kept in good shape despite aging, could fetch slightly higher prices among niche collectors. While it is not yet a high-value rare coin, it has strong potential for future appreciation due to its story and purpose. For those of you who are collectors or thinking about starting a collection, this coin offers a wonderful opportunity. It is affordable, meaningful, and widely available. If you come across one, try to keep it in a safe place to preserve its condition. Avoid cleaning the coin, as cleaning can reduce its value. Instead, store it in a protective holder or coin album. Pay attention to unique features like toning, color variations, or minimal wear, as these details can make your coin more interesting to collectors in the future. Also, remember that the story behind a coin can be just as important as its rarity. And this coin has one of the most inspiring stories in modern numismatics. As we come to the conclusion, the 2021 Australia donation dollar is much more than just currency. It represents generosity, community, and the idea that small actions can make a big difference. While its market value today may be modest, its symbolic value is incredibly high, and its potential in the collector world is steadily growing. Whether you keep it as a collectible or pass it on as a donation, this coin carries a positive message that goes far beyond money. Next up, today we're diving into a truly special and meaningful collectible, the Australia $1 coin issued in 2010 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Girl Guides. If you enjoy coin collecting, history, or simply discovering hidden value in everyday items, you're going to love this one. Let's take a closer look at what makes this coin unique, how its condition affects its value, and what collectors are currently willing to pay for it in today's market. This coin was released by the Royal Australian Mint in 2010 to commemorate 100 years of the Girl Guides movement in Australia. The Girl Guides organization itself has a rich global history, originating in the early 20th century as a movement aimed at empowering young girls with leadership skills, confidence, and community spirit. Celebrating such a milestone, the coin holds not just monetary value, but cultural and historical significance as well. The design of the coin is quite charming and symbolic. It features the Girl Guides logo, along with elements that reflect unity, growth, and tradition. For many collectors, coins like this are more than metal. They are storytelling pieces, capturing moments that shaped communities. Now let's talk about condition, because this is where things get interesting. You mentioned that the coin is in very fine condition, which is a solid grade in the collecting world. A very fine coin typically shows moderate wear, but still retains clear details in the design. The main features are visible, though not as sharp as a mint or uncirculated piece. Condition plays a major role in determining value. While a heavily circulated coin might only be worth it's a very fine example, like yours sits comfortably in the collectible category. It's not at the very top tier, but it still attracts attention from collectors who appreciate well-preserved coins without paying premium, uncirculated prices. In terms of composition, the Australia $1 coin is made from aluminum bronze. This gives it that distinctive golden appearance that stands out in any collection. The durability of this material also helps coins survive circulation relatively well, which is why even coins in very fine condition can still look quite appealing. The background of this coin is also important. It wasn't just released as a standard circulation coin, it was part of a commemorative issue. That means it had a specific purpose and theme, which naturally adds to its collectible appeal over time. Coins tied to anniversaries often age well in the collector market, especially when they represent widely respected organizations. When it comes to collector demand, this coin sits in a very interesting position. It's not extremely rare, but it is definitely desirable. Collectors of Australian coins, as well as those who focus on commemorative issues or women's history themes, often seek out this piece. Demand tends to be steady rather than explosive. This is actually a positive thing because it means the coin has consistent interest and is less likely to fluctuate wildly in value. Many collectors enjoy coins like this because they are affordable yet meaningful additions to a collection. Now let's talk about what you really want to know: the current market value. As of today, a 2010 Australia $1 Girl Guides coin in very fine condition typically sells in the range of about $230,000 to $250,000. In Australian dollars, that would be roughly $3.30, 0 to 350,000, depending on the exact condition and buyer interest. If the coin were in uncirculated or mint condition, the value could go higher, sometimes reaching around $3.75,000 to $3.88, 0 or more for premium examples. It's important to understand that value can vary based on where you sell it. Online marketplaces, coin dealers, and collector groups may all offer slightly different prices. However, your coin being in very fine condition puts it in a respectable position in the market. If you're a collector or thinking about becoming one, coins like this are a great place to start. One tip I always recommend is to store your coins properly. Keeping them in protective holders or albums can prevent further wear and help maintain their value over time. Another helpful tip is to stay informed about the market. Prices can change gradually, and sometimes demand increases due to renewed interest in certain themes. Being patient is key. Sometimes holding onto a coin for a few more years can make a noticeable difference in its value. Also, always try to handle your coins carefully, preferably by the edges, to avoid fingerprints and damage. Even small details can influence how collectors perceive the condition. To wrap things up, The 2010 Australia $1 anniversary of Girl Guides coin is a beautiful and meaningful collectible. While it may not be extremely rare, it carries historical value, steady collector demand, and a respectable market price, especially in very fine condition like yours. It's a reminder that every coin has a story, and sometimes the value goes beyond just dollars and cents. Whether you decide to keep it as part of your collection or sell it, you're holding a small piece of history in your hands. Next up, today, we're exploring a very special and meaningful coin from Australia, the 2003 $1 100th anniversary of women's suffrage coin. This isn't just currency, it's a powerful tribute to history, progress, and equality. And if you're a collector or simply curious about coin values, you're going to enjoy this journey. Let's take a closer look at what makes this coin so unique, how its condition affects its worth, and what it could be valued at in today's market. The story of this coin begins with a major milestone in Australian history. In 1902, Australia became one of the first countries in the world to grant women the right to vote and stand for parliament. Fast forward to 2003, and this $1 coin was released to celebrate the 100th anniversary of that achievement. It's more than a collectible, it represents a century of progress and recognition of women's rights. The design itself carries symbolic importance. On the reverse side, you'll notice imagery representing unity and the collective voice of women. It's a reminder of how far society has come and how important those early reforms were in shaping modern democracy. Now let's talk about condition, because this plays a huge role in value. A coin described as very fine is one that has seen some circulation but still retains clear details. The main design elements remain sharp, though there may be light wear on the higher points. It's not brand new, but it's far from worn out. Collectors appreciate coins in very fine condition because they strike a balance between affordability and preservation. You can still clearly enjoy the design and historical elements without paying the premium price of an uncirculated coin. Moving on to the physical makeup of the coin, the Australian $1 coin is made from aluminum bronze. This gives it that distinctive golden color that many people recognize instantly. The composition typically includes copper, aluminum, and nickel, making it durable and resistant to corrosion. That's why even coins from 2003 can still look attractive today if they've been reasonably well cared for. The coin weighs about 9 grams and has a diameter of 25 millimeters, making it solid and slightly heavier than smaller denominations. This durability is one of the reasons Australian dollar coins hold up well over time, even in circulation. When it comes to collector demand, this coin sits in an interesting position. It's not extremely rare, but it holds strong appeal due to its historical significance. Many collectors are drawn to coins that tell a story, and this one certainly does. Collectors who focus on commemorative coins, women's history, or Australian currency often seek this piece for their collections. While it may not be considered a key rarity, its meaningful theme keeps it relevant and desirable. Over time, coins like this tend to maintain steady interest rather than fading away. Now let's get to what many of you are wondering, the current market value. For a 2003 Australian $1 women's suffrage coin in very fine condition, the value today generally ranges between about $40,000 to $75,000. In some cases, depending on buyer interest or slightly better preservation, it might reach a bit higher, but it usually stays within that range. If the coin were in uncirculated condition, its value could increase significantly, sometimes reaching $8 to $15 or more. But in very fine condition, the value remains modest yet respectable, especially considering its historical importance. If you're a collector or thinking about becoming one, coins like this are a great place to start. Always handle your coins carefully, preferably by the edges, and store them in protective holders to prevent scratches and environmental damage. It's also a good idea to avoid cleaning coins, even if they look dull. Cleaning can actually reduce their value because collectors prefer original surfaces. Instead, focus on preservation rather than restoration. Keeping track of market trends can also help you understand when to buy or sell. Coin values can shift slightly based on demand, so staying informed gives you an advantage. In the end, This 2003 Australian $1 coin is more than just a small piece of metal. It represents a century of progress, a tribute to women's rights, and a reminder of how far society has come. Even though its market value may not be extremely high, its historical value is priceless. Coins like this connect us to the past in a tangible way, making them meaningful additions to any collection. If you have one of these coins, you're holding a piece of history in your hands. And sometimes that's worth far more than the price it can fetch. Next up, today, we're diving into a fascinating piece of numismatic history, a coin that beautifully blends aviation legacy with Australian heritage. This is the 1997 Australian $1 coin, issued to mark the 100th anniversary of the birth of Charles Kingsford Smith, one of the greatest pioneers in aviation history. This coin is not just currency, it's a tribute to courage, innovation, and the spirit of exploration that helped shape modern air travel. Let's start with the history behind this remarkable coin. Issued in 1997 by Australia, the coin commemorates the centenary of Charles Kingsford Smith's birth. Known affectionately as Smithy, he was the first pilot to complete a trans-Pacific flight from the United States to Australia, a groundbreaking achievement in 1928. His legacy made him a national hero, and this coin captures that admiration through its design. On the reverse side, you'll find a portrait of Kingsford Smith alongside an aircraft, symbolizing his aviation achievements. The imagery is both elegant and meaningful, giving collectors a direct visual connection to history. On the obverse, like most Australian coins of that era, you'll see the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, reinforcing its official status as legal tender. Now let's talk about the condition of this particular coin. You mentioned it is in very fine condition, and that's an important detail. In coin grading terms, very fine means the coin has seen some circulation, but still retains clear details. The major features, like the portrait and aircraft, remain visible and well-defined, although there may be light wear on the high points. This level of preservation keeps the coin attractive, while still reflecting its journey through time. When it comes to background and composition, this coin follows the standard specifications of Australian $1 coins. It is made of aluminum bronze, giving it that distinctive golden color. The coin weighs approximately 9 grams and has a diameter of about, making it sturdy and easily recognizable. Its durability is one reason why many of these coins remain in collectible condition today. Collector demand for this coin is quite steady. While it is not considered extremely rare, it holds strong appeal due to its historical significance and the popularity of aviation-themed collectibles. Coins honoring famous figures like Kingsford Smith often attract both coin collectors and aviation enthusiasts, which helps maintain consistent interest in the market. Because it was a commemorative issue, many people saved it, which means it's still relatively available. However, finding it in higher grades, especially uncirculated condition, can be more challenging and desirable. Now let's talk about the current market value. For a coin in very fine condition like yours, the typical market value generally falls around $30,000 to $50,000. In some cases, depending on buyer interest or presentation, it may sell slightly higher, but it usually stays within this range. Coins in uncirculated or mint condition can command higher prices, sometimes reaching $75,000 to $88,000 or more. Even though the monetary value may seem modest, the historical and collectible value adds a deeper layer of worth that many collectors truly appreciate. If you're a collector or thinking about becoming one, there are a few helpful tips to keep in mind. Always handle your coins carefully, preferably by the edges, to avoid fingerprints and damage. Storing them in protective holders or albums can preserve their condition for years to come. It's also a good idea to learn about grading standards, as condition plays a major role in determining value. Building a collection around themes, such as aviation or historical figures, can make your collection more meaningful and enjoyable. And most importantly, collect coins that genuinely interest you. That passion is what makes the hobby truly rewarding. In conclusion, the 1997 Australian $1 coin celebrating Charles Kingsford Smith is a beautiful piece of history captured in metal. While it may not be the most expensive coin, it carries a story of ambition, bravery, and national pride. Its steady collector demand and historical significance make it a valuable addition to any collection. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just starting your journey, this coin reminds us that every piece has a story, and sometimes that story is worth far more than the price tag. If you enjoyed learning about this coin, don't forget to explore more hidden treasures in the world of collecting. There's always something new waiting to be discovered.